we're coming into breakthrough. All right, so breakthrough coming up Wednesday night. We are able to release some more tickets. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. We're gonna release some tickets. If you've got someone that you're like, I've got to get this person in, or if you're that person like, I've got to get in, I need you to call me, I need you to text me. I will figure out what I got to do to get you in. You guys know me. I'm always looking for a loophole in the rules to help the team. So I'm gonna find that loophole, and we're gonna get as many of your team there as possible. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a powerful event. I can't wait to be there. It's going to be incredible, and we're now going to be able to get more people there. So excited. Not going to be a lot, so you're going to have to be ready. That's why I say call me, text me. I can't put out massive instructions on it, but I will help you get your people in. I need you to have 3 more people there. I need you to have 4 more people there. I'm telling you, whoever we get there, this is going to be the last breakthrough done in this format. The breakthrough next year will be drastically different format. So I'm telling you, this is a special thing. Call me, text me, call me, text me. I'll figure out a way to get you in. All right. Let's get going here. I want my guests on, guys. I was talking to these guys on Friday, talking to Noel Wilson, texting back and forth all weekend. And here's why I am always going to be can I get one more person to the event? Can you get one more person to the event? Because the events are powerful. Noel and Brandon came out of family reunion, ready to take over the world, and they're getting results. Guys, we build business on rules, not exceptions. What is the exception? The exception is when somebody like myself answers an ad and becomes successful. I'm an exception. Why do we say that? For the most part, people answering ads are perennial job seekers. The best people are too busy working to be looking and probably wouldn't answer one of my ads anyway. That's how we found Brandon Beal. That's how we found Ed Soto. That's how we found Mark Hutchison. That's how we found Jeremico Edwards. And I can keep going and going and going. So these guys have a whole lot of stuff going on in depth. They're getting new width and then getting depth under that width. They're getting GMRs in place. So Brandon, man, I appreciate you being on. And I love getting to talk about kids with you, brother. You know me, I'm a family guy. I love it. Love seeing your baby, man. Beautiful girl. Noel, brother, I am so excited about what the next 6 months holds for you, and then what that's going to set you up to do in 2024. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and mute out, and I'm going to take some notes. I'm going to listen in, and then I'll come back on with our content today, guys. Light us up, Brandon. Oh, hang on. Hang tight. We're having a little bit of a snafu. All right, Brandon, see if we can get you now. No, see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear, bro. All right, let's try Brandon one more time. All right, hang tight. What if we get rid of me? All right, see if that does it. Brandon, see if we can get you now. Ah, no, we still got you?
Yes.
We got you. Crap, I wonder what's going on. Do you think we'll be able to figure it out, or should we just roll with Noel? All right, Brandon, you got my phone? Chandler's got my phone here in the studio. Text back and forth with him. See if you guys can figure out. I don't know. I'm not the tech guy. I'm like the old man screaming at the TV.
Y'all still can't hear me?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Shoot.
Winner. Awesome.
There it is.
Light us up.
It might have been on my end. I don't know. We've been having some technical difficulties with Wi-Fi here in SoCal for a couple days now. But Stephen, thank you so much, man, for asking me and Noel to be on here. As I say always, I don't take this lightly. This is an awesome opportunity. I'm just going to get right into my content, so to speak. And, you know, I had a nice chat with Mark Hutchison in Miami, and he and I agreed that we need to speak more, plain and simple. He and I need to talk more, strategize more, game plan more. And one thing that he assured me was to use my athletic background in this business. You know, if he pretty much said, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing, I'm sure he won't, but you know, use your athletic background in this business. And that right there, he said, run it like you're Jerry Jones, run it like you're the GM, the owner, the president, the CEO of the Dallas Cowboys. And I knew that I was on the right path because Noel and I got together right before Miami and we talked about how frustrated we were. Plain and simple. I'm just going to be completely transparent with everyone. We talked about how frustrated we were, how we don't like being stagnant. We don't like being in the same place, the same level, with no growth or very little growth. You know, we want exponential growth. We want a boom, right? So when we got together in Miami, we talked about things that we can change. And one of those things, Stephen, was talking with you more. One of those things was me talking with Mark Aceta more, you know, consulting with other, you know, big time leaders in the alliance more often. And sometimes, you know, you get in this business, Stephen, and you have certain expectations and you don't hit them. You have certain goals and you crash and burn. And that's what separates a lot of people, is having the ability to put your big boy pants on and say, okay, I can either quit, or again, I can put my big boy, big girl pants on, make an adjustment, then move forward. And that's what Noel and I were doing. We could easily quit and say, oh, I need to go back to being a personal trainer. Noel can go back driving a truck up and down the East Coast. We never get to see our kids, you know, or we can make this business work and we can take what we've been doing, trash it, start over completely fresh. And I'll be honest, he and I have never been more fired up in our life. That's just 100% honesty. We've never been more fired up in our lives. The adjustments we made, it's like going into halftime in the Super Bowl, going in the NBA Finals or the NHL Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go into halftime, see who's double teaming this person, boom, kick the ball over here. Someone's going to be open. You know what I mean? If this wide receiver is double covered, Peyton's going to throw it to somebody else. You know what I mean? So that's what we did. We went in the locker room. We figured out what we were doing wrong by consulting with you and by consulting with Mark. And we've been able to change some things up. And I'm going to let Noel get into that literally right now. Noel, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, just kind of tell everybody what you and I have been doing, so to speak.
Absolutely. Can you guys still hear me loud and clear?
Yep.
Awesome. Like Brandon said, Davies, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak on today's message. I'm truly honored. But yeah, me and Brandon, we have done a lot of game planning, so to say, and we knew that we needed to make some changes. We needed to do something that will allow for us to grow at a very fast rate. And now the first thing we thought of was we need to connect more with our leaders. For example, guys, Stephen Davies, he over $30 million earned since he's been here. Be a fool not to listen to him, not to take his advice. And so I reached out to Davies shortly after family reunion, and I wanted to pick his brain. I needed to get on the phone with him. And we spent almost an hour on the phone together, and he dropped a lot of knowledge on me. And immediately following that phone call, we started implementing that because Brandon, he also had a very similar call with Mark Aceta. So we put together our notes. We figured out what we were going to start doing, and we started, moving instantaneously. And one of those things is building. Guys, we are a lot more intentional on who we're bringing into business with us. We have to be. We have to, truly adopt a mindset of finding individuals who are ready, willing, and able, ready to go right now, willing to make changes, willing to be coachable, willing to learn the system and follow the system as it is, and adapt later. And then able, guys, we need leads. Leads are the lifeline. They're the bloodline of our business. It's how we get paid. We need people to talk to. So what we've been doing with, our people is we're following the LLLC method, right? That's list, license, leads, convention. Guys, you have to get around the fire. We're really putting a lot of emphasis on our teammates going to the hotspots, being on the calls, going to the events. If I'm being honest, if it wasn't for seeing Davies in Miami and me going to Miami to family reunion, I might not have reached out to him to seek coaching, seek mentorship, to ask for his guidance. Convention is absolutely non-negotiable. It's super important to the value that it will bring your business. Breakthrough is super, super, super massive. I love the fact that they're opening tickets back up for agents. Our goal is to get as many of our agents there as possible. You know, getting them around the fire. It's more, this business is caught with a C, not really so much taught with a T. So you want your people to be around those who are doing what it is that, you know, they've dreamt of doing. List, you have to start off with a list. List is the fastest way to get an agent moving. I was told some whiles ago that recruiting fuels production. You don't want to be passed by somebody that you bring into business. And you sure as heck don't want to be passed by somebody that you're very close with, a friend, a family member. You don't want them to pass you. You want to lead from the front. But like I said, I've had 1,000 words of notes just from my call alone with Stephen Davies that, yeah, we're being a lot more intentional on how we're going about handling our business moving forward. And I am super excited for these next 90 days, the next 60 days, really. I'm expecting, you know, not only myself, but multiple individuals from our agency to be walking across come convention to, you know, get new rings, upgrade.
That's awesome, man. And real quick, just to kind of piggyback on what you said, the key word that I took was being intentional. Guys, gals, you have to be intentional with what you do. Steven said it all the time. It says it all the time. You have to be intentional with your schedule. You have to be intentional with what you're doing and be a slave to your schedule. That's number one. If you do not have a schedule, I refer to in my team, in my group chat, you know, being that feather in Forrest Gump, where you're just kind of floating along, just trying to see where you land. You have no real roadmap. You just kind of just willy-nilly about your day. You're not going to make money. You're not going to make money without a schedule. You know, even my wife, when I first got started, used to harp on me about not having a schedule. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have a schedule in place. Rich people know what they're doing every 15 minutes of the day, and you have to stick to that schedule. If you cannot stick to a schedule, you will not be successful. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Noel. And then also, too, I want to talk about the definition of insanity, y'all. Is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So it's July, what is today? The 30th, 31st? Like, we can't do the same thing we did from January to July and expect that we're going to be better. We had to make that change. We had to come together, band of brothers, get together and say, all right, dude, we're sick and effing tired of where we are. All right, what are we going to do about it? Well, let's seek out the people who have built it big. Hell, let's seek out the people who built it, lost it, and then built it back like Steven has done. A lot of y'all don't know that. You know, that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of time and patience that he probably didn't have, but he did it. You know, same with me reaching out to Mark Aceta. This man's helped multiple people. I think he told me 5,000 people make over $100,000 and maybe 10,000 people make $1 million. I could be wrong. He can clarify that, but yeah, I had to reach out to the people who were doing it big. We have to be able to put our ego aside, even if you're 5-10 years in the game. You know, even the GOATs, the greatest of all time, still seek out other GOATs who are great to see how they can then get better themselves. And Steven mentioned it a minute ago. One thing that Noel and I are also being intentional on is recruiting. We're putting, I don't want to use the word pressure on people, but we need to apply just a little bit of firmness, you know what I mean, in the direction of recruiting. Because selling, I was once told, and it's stuck in my head since July 2017, when I first came to the Alliance, you sell to pay your bills. You sell to keep the lights on, keep gas in the car, and food in the fridge. But if you want a lifestyle, if you want your dreams to come true, like Steven said, if you want that passive income, or as we call it, massive passive income, you got to recruit. And you can't just recruit, you got to build. Because anybody can recruit somebody, but can you build that person to become a leader? That's what a leader is. That's what a leader does. A leader builds other leaders, not just a bunch of followers. That will eventually collapse. You need more leaders. Steven, I appreciate you having us on, man. Again, we don't take this lightly. I appreciate you having us talk to the group, and hope to do it again. Hopefully y'all took some away from this, and we're ready to kill it, man. If you can't tell, like, I got spiders crawling all over my body right now, because obviously it's the C4 energy drink, but also too because we get to chat with y'all.
Hey, I love the stuff you guys are saying, knowing what you're looking for. And that's one of the reasons, you know, after our conversation Friday, Noel, that's what I was like, I know what I want to talk about on the Monday message. Knowing what you're looking for, that's so key, because if we just recruit the world, it's like Marcus said, you can't take a green apple and talk it into being a red apple. If you want a red apple, you've got to get you a red apple. And that's what I'm talking about here in just a second, is What does that look like? How do you know if an agent's ready to make a move or not? Brandon, I love it. List, license, leads, convention. I love the stuff about coaching. I'm grateful that Andy has the humility to bring in a market setup. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people get to a certain level and then they want to be the expert of their little dominion, right? People do that at very low levels. All of a sudden they're the king of the dominion and they know all. But I appreciate Andy bringing Marcus Seta in. You're right. Seta has been a massive help. I love my conversations with Seta. I love that he's talking to you. Keep that going. And if you're out there and you're going, hey, I want to get time with Marcus Seta, what do I need to do? What they're talking about. That's the other reason I want them on here. That's what gets attention. Does that make sense? That's what opens the door to higher level coaching, what they're doing. Guys, I love you guys. I'm so excited about this last 6 months of the year. Let's stay tight. I'm telling you, Team Soto is taking off, bro. It's taking off. Let's scheme up. Once I find out the logistics on what we need to do, I'll scheme up a way to help make sure we get the bulk of those breakthrough tickets for you guys and for our team. So love y'all. Appreciate you jumping on and sharing.
Thanks, bro.
All right, here's what I want to talk about. How do you know when an agent is ready to make a massive move? It's very predictable. It's very predictable. And what I've got is 5 things. I shared some of these things with Greco and Guerra and Hoyt's team last Monday. I've got more on it that I want to share with you today, but here's what I want. I want you to be able to see it and know it, right? Because here's what gets frustrating. When we pour all in on this person's ready to make a move, but then they don't have any of these things, they're not going to make a move. And then you'll be frustrated. And here's what I don't want. I talked about this 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, last week. Anyways, I don't want you to stack the disappointments up. So I'm trying to say, hey, look for this. If this is there, then they are ready to make a big move. So invest time, effort, energy, emotion, travel to go see them where they're at. If they're doing these things, that's someone that can make a massive vertical move. If they're not, they're not. And Noel and I talked about this on Friday, right? Ready, willing, and able. Championship coaches, no matter what the sport, they have better players. I mean, it's just like we were talking about, as much as it just grates me to say it. Nick Saban, right? Alabama. I'm just telling you, look at who he recruits. He doesn't recruit slow people, right? He recruits fast, high-skilled athletes. Well, is that how you win? Yeah. Look at what Georgia does. Look at what the top NHL teams do. Look at who wins the Super Bowl. They are constantly looking for athletes. They don't try and take a non-elite athlete and say, we're going to make you elite. They look for the elite things already and then take them to the next level with coaching. So that's what I want to talk about today. So that's one side. The other side of the coin is, hey, if you're out there and you're going, I am sick and tired of getting passed by new people, right? If that's you, let's do these things. And then you become an agent that makes a fast vertical move. Does it make sense? So it's both sides of it. If you're looking to grow like crazy, you need to know who's ready to make a massive vertical move. If you've gotten tired of getting passed by new people, then just go, okay, these things, if I do these, I'll make a massive vertical move. Yeah, it's that predictable. All right, so number one, people that are ready to make a massive vertical move, and people that will make a massive vertical move, invest in leads every week. Invest in new leads every single week. I love when I see GMRs go up. I love when I see people place standing orders for internet leads. Here's what it is. It's buying future cash flow. If I've got someone and I'm thinking they're going to make a massive vertical move, but they don't increase their lead investment, it's insane for me to think they're going to make a massive vertical move. They're not. They can't. Well, they're just going to get really, really, really good at referrals. I hear you. And I think you should too. I agree. We should all be doing that. But unless they invest more in leads, it's going to be incremental growth. It won't be explosive growth. And one of the things I was talking about with Noel on Friday was coach people to win. Don't coach them not to lose. When it comes to leads, like the reason I'm willing to ask Julian, hey, I need you to double the GMR. Why? Because I want him to win. If I'm coaching not to lose, I'm saying, well, just get you 3 or 4 or 5 new A leads a week, and that'll be fine. You'll do well. That's coaching not to lose. I want him to win. I want Julian to just smoke past everybody else in the alliance. I want you to smoke past everybody else in the alliance. So I need you to invest to win. Here's what happens when people don't invest heavily in leads in the beginning. They just slowly bleed out. They'll get a pop here or there, but they just slowly bleed out and fade away. If I've got a full-time agent and they're not, I mean, they're full-time, they're wanting to, if they're not investing at a bare minimum $500 a week in leads, they're not going to make a big, massive vertical move. They're not. They're just gonna slowly, eventually fade away. I've been doing this 24 years, guys. I'm telling you, 500, 1,000. Eric Belair, that slide, I've got his slideshow. If anybody wants to see that slideshow from National Convention or from Family Reunion, text me. I'll send it to you. His netting $250,000 the first half of the year by investing $1,500 a week in leads. It is the single most predictable thing in the business. I'm just telling you, if the lead investment doesn't grow, they're not going to make a massive vertical move. And here's why: because if without an increase in investment, all you're hoping for is an extremely fortuitous turn of events. Is it no different than recruiting, right? When a team says we've got this massive goal, but there's no recruiting, okay, you're just hoping to bump into the next Adam Burge, hoping to bump into the next Aaron Wilson. I don't know. It's going to have to be a fortuitous turn of events. So with an agent that's getting ready to make a vertical move, they are investing heavily in leads. They increase that investment in leads. It's playing to win, not playing to hope not to lose. Here's the second thing. People that are going to make a massive vertical move, they're doing the same stuff that you just heard Noel and Beal talk about. They're getting around the fire. People that get around the larger team, that's who makes massive vertical moves. Why? Because when I keep myself around the bigger, massive team, guess what I get the benefit of? Everybody's thoughts. If I'm an island unto myself, guess who I get the benefit of? Just my thoughts. When I'm around the bigger team, I hear stuff and I go, oh, wait, so Riddle, you're doing this? Huh, okay. Manley, you're doing that? Okay. Leventovich, you're doing that? I want to be around the bigger team because that's where I'm going to get the best ideas. See, when Mike Leventovich and I have a conversation, something very magical happens. We have his thoughts and we have my thoughts, and then we have our thoughts. So by us talking, we're benefiting from a third brain. I was on the phone with Andy a lot this weekend. Same deal, right? You benefit from the thoughts you put together. The coaching Beal's talking about that he's getting from Marcusetta. Get around the bigger team. If an agent's not going out of their way to get around the bigger team, I'm sorry, they're just not going to make a massive vertical move. That's not your person. And you say, well, does that mean I can't grow my team? No, we've got to find one that wants to. And you say, well, I've got, but they're so good. She's so good. And she just, I just know I can, it is or it isn't. Does that make sense? Well, why do you think and Beal will attest to this, right? In scouting reports or in recruiting reports, when the University of Northern Illinois was going to recruit Brandon Beal to play tight end, they knew his height, they knew his weight, they knew how fast he could run, and they had game tape. And they could go, he checks this box, he checks this box, he checks this box, he checks this box, give him a scholarship. He's going to play tight end for us. This is the stuff I'm giving you. Does that make sense? I'm giving you the measurables. And then again, if you're that agent that's going, I'm tired of getting passed, the cool thing about these measurables, you can change them anytime you want. See, like I can try as hard as I want. I can't make myself as tall as Brandon Beal. I'm just trying so hard. Maybe if I read this, I can't change that. But any of these I can change. Any of these you can change. So invest in leads. What's your current lead investment? If you're full-time and you're not investing at a minimum $500 in new leads every week, you're going to stay frustrated. Here's what will eat you alive. Parkinson's law, meaning you only have a $200 GMR and you only get 4 leads or whatever. How long will it take you to call those 4 leads? It's going to eat up your whole week. If you've got 20 new A leads coming in, how long is it going to take to work them all? It's going to take the same amount of time. Why? Because Parkinson's law, the thing will grow to fill the void in which it sits. That's why you've got to invest in leads. Plus, When you're in the beginning, that's how you get good. That's how you get good, is by getting more reps. I was talking about that with one of our new agents, one of our new directs on Friday. The more reps you got, the better you get, the quicker you get. And he's one of those guys that just gets it. He's like, oh no, I get it. More reps, faster, better. That's how I built my other businesses. So keep themselves around the bigger team, invest in leads. 3, they go to where the information is. They go to where the information is. They're not waiting for someone to come and pour all the information into them. They're aggressive about going to where the information is. One of the reasons I knew Adam and Cindy Burge were going to kill it is they, without even knowing much about the business, came to a big event. Why? I need to go where the information is. That's how business people think. People are going to win big. They know they're going to win big. They know they just need to go where the information is. So are they pestering you right now about, hey, how do I get those tickets Steven's talking about for Breakthrough? That's a good sign that they're one of them. If they're going to see Andy Riddle tonight, wherever he is, if they're going to see Levin Tovich, wherever they are all across the country, if they're going, if they're just chomping at the bit to get to Houston or to Denver, where we're doing those massive boot camps, we're also doing Dallas and Albuquerque that week. If they're on Alliance hotspots, figuring out where can I go, that's telling you they're ready to grow. They're ready to make a massive move. Hey, here's the other thing. Going back to number 2 about keeping themselves around the bigger team. That's what winners do, because winners want to know who the best at every level is. Like, I love getting to go to Integrity. Why? Because I'm getting to see what great white sharks look like. I don't want to be the biggest koi in my little koi pond. I want to be the biggest shark in the ocean. So how do I know? I've got to go. Does it make sense? I come to the national convention. What do the top producers look like? What is it? What do they look like? What are they doing? Instead of wanting to be a big fish in a small pond, winners want to be the biggest fish in the biggest possible, the biggest, baddest ocean ever. That's what winners want. And I'm telling you, when they want that, when they want to be around the bigger team, they're telling you, hey, I'm one of them. Here's the other thing about going. Let me get back to 3. I forgot that point under number 2, and I wanted to get back to that. Going to where the information is. Abraham Lincoln, right? He said, if I have 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll take 4 hours to sharpen my axe. That's the mentality I'm talking about. I want to be better today than I was tomorrow. Beal said it, right? If we're doing the same things the second half we were as the first half, we're relying on an extremely fortuitous turn of events to help us grow. But when we're getting better, making changes, right? Going to where the information is. Hey, I promise you, Beal's not getting coaching by Mark Aceta on a schedule of Beal's convenience. Well, how do I know that? Because I know how hard it is to get a hold of Mark Aceta. So I know what Beal's doing. It's early, it's late, it's wherever he can get it in. Aceta is often not on the same time zone as you. I mean, I was like, you're in Greece? Okay, so let's see if I got. So I need to be, 6 a.m. is, I'll just go to where the coaching is. Easy coaching ain't worth having. All right, here's the other thing. They evaluate and adjust. That's number 4. I knew Adam and Cindy Burge were going to pass people because he's constantly asking questions and making adjustments. Constantly asking questions, making adjustments. Constantly asking questions, making adjustments. When people are doing that, they're ready to make a vertical move. When people want to do it their way, or they're real rigid, like, I only will sell in this county. I only will sell this carrier. Let me tell you something. If you want massive amounts of success, you can't have a lot of onlys. I'm only willing to do this, because here's what it does. Every only we add, we shrink the scope of what's possible for us. I'm only willing. It's not just business, it's life, right? I'm only willing to tell my wife I love her if she says it first. Okay. That's about all the happiness you're ever going to get. You know what I'm saying? So they evaluate and adjust. If someone is actively seeking coaching and making changes, that's someone that's going to make massive moves. That's why I was like, I got to get Noel Wilson on. I've got to get Brandon on, because they are going to make massive moves the second half, because they're evaluating and adjusting. They're going to and evaluating and adjusting based on higher perspectives in the business. Evaluating and adjusting. Sometimes people do that on their own. Like, well, I went ahead and I stopped getting leads. I stopped doing this. I went ahead and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting a higher evaluation and then adjusting. The last thing, they build while they're selling. The people that are going to make massive moves build while they're selling. They start recruiting from the word go. Why is that? I'm going to explain that to you right now. It's all about self-confidence. People that have confidence can move faster, can build the business faster. When someone says, well, I need to see how this works out for me first before I'm willing to build anything, before I'm willing to recruit, that's someone that has very low levels of self-confidence. And let me explain to you why. People with high levels of self-confidence, all they need is proof of concept and they'll attack. Because people with high self-confidence know if anyone can, I can. If anyone can, I can. When Adam Burge came to the first event, that's when I first met him at Family Reunion, shows up. He wasn't trying to think, I wonder if I could do this. Oh, gee, that would be great if I could. Oh, I'll have to see if it works for me first. No, he goes, all right, there's proof of concept. How do I need to attack this? I was just talking with the new guy, Chris, direct us in the base shop. I got excited about him. Why? Because he didn't say the thing like, well, I need to see if it works for me first before I was like, we got proof of concept. We got every single person, every single type, every single race, religion, creed. We've got proof of concept. So if someone's still going to go, I need to see it work for me first, that's their low self-esteem talking. That's their previous failures and other things coming back out in them. And now you're saying, does that mean someone like that can't win big? No, we can help boost their self-confidence to where they can, but they're not going to be able to build big quick. Again, the 5 things I'm talking about, it's not a whether or not they could eventually make it in the business. It's identifying who's going to move fast. And again, if they've got the self-confidence to go proof of concept, if anyone can, I can, they're going to win. Does that make sense? The biggest part of winning at anything is believing you can. Looking at proof of concept and going, if anyone can, I can. I just need to figure it out. When people are approaching anything with the, I hope this works out, their odds of success are much, much, much lower. So I'm not saying they can't win, but what I'm saying is, no, this is what you're looking for. Is someone willing to do these things? And you say, well, but that eliminates some people. I understand. I'm not saying you can't join your team, brother. What I'm saying is this is what you're looking for the ones that are going to make massive moves. That's why I'm crazy excited about the guy in Salt Lake City, right? He's not saying, well, I need to see if it works for me first before I do anything. He's going, okay, call this guy, call this guy. I think, what'd you say, Beal? You asked for 5, he gave you 10 people. Like that's someone that's going to win big. I was speaking of Beal and Noel. Let's connect and let's loop Soto in too. Well, we got to figure out some getting Salt Lake City into the mix of travel. We'll triangulate, or I guess it wouldn't be triangulate if there's 4 of us. We'll rectangulate and figure it out. I do need to get that on there. But guys, this is what I'm telling you. If you see these 5 things in someone and they're these 5 things without you having to argue with them, without you having to use all your coercion to get them to think these 5 things, that's someone that's going to win big. They're out there. They're out there. They're out there. How do you know? Proof of concept, right? Look at the people that come on and win big in the beginning. This is what they do. This is what they do. Oh, definitely rectangulate. All right, we're good. I love it. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you know. Like I have been this weekend on the phone with Andy as we're working out this breakthrough thing to get more people in, and constantly on my heart is you and your people. And you say I feel like you only want Beal to have the most people there. I want everybody to have the most people there. I want everybody on our team to have the most people there. Riddle's good. I like Riddle, but I want all my people to have all the people there. So I'm already getting steady stream of text coming. I'm watching my phone over here out of the corner of my eye. People saying, I want those tickets. I need, hey, I'm going to get with you today. I'm going to get with you today and tomorrow, and we're going to make sure that come 10:01 tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we got all the tickets for us. Guys, Holly and I love you. Let's get out. Let's get after it.